Simply Stakeholders offers a fresh new approach to stakeholder management. It harnesses the power of artificial intelligence and machine learning to make the process of recording and tracking your stakeholders and all your interactions with them easier and faster. And it focuses the attention on the meaningful insights that will help to inform and drive your engagement process. It's simple to use and quick to get started. Simply import your existing data through our import template and you can be up and running within minutes. So let's take a look at Simply Stakeholders. This is my dashboard. It gives me a bit of a count of how many stakeholders and interactions I've had, a breakdown by method, email, media, etc. Sentiment analysis, which is driven by the artificial intelligence, and I can see the sentiment by different methods of engagement. The number of interactions and some issues tracking through categories. This is also something that is driven by machine learning and artificial intelligence, and I'll show you how that works shortly. Stakeholder mapping against the criteria of influence, interest and impact on a scale of very low to very high, and we can also see how that translates right through our engagement process. How often are we meeting with our very high influence stakeholders and our very high impact stakeholders? Taking a look at stakeholders, we can do a quick search. So we can view our information from an organisation point of view. Who do we know at the Department of Environment and Science? We can see all of the people in that organisation and their roles in the organisation. Scrolling down, we can see the activity we've had with anyone from this organisation. And we can see the details of the organisation. So the contact groups, we've put them in, and you can see they can belong to multiple contact groups. The stakeholder mapping on a sliding scale, 1 to 5, and we can also keep notes on the stakeholder. We can also view information from a person's point of view. So if we open one of the contacts from this organisation, we can see the information from an individual's point of view. I'll explain this alert in a minute. So here's the stakeholder's name, his contact information. If we need to record a quick note of a discussion or a meeting we've had with him, we can quite quickly enter that and save it. And you'll see it adds it to his list of interactions. And we can see all of the different interactions we've had with him, discussions, phone calls, media articles he's been quoted in. In the details section, we can see the contact groups we've added him to, his stakeholder mapping, and here was that note that popped up when I opened his screen. So that's stakeholders, fairly simple and straightforward. Let's now take a look at interactions. We can either do a quick search on the left here, or we can do a more detailed search using the search menu. So if I wanted to open a media article, for example, I can use a combination of search filters. So here's my media article that I've created. I can see the subject, the method, direction, date, the text of the article, and as I scroll down, I can also see the stakeholders who've been linked to this article. I can keep notes on this article if I need to. To run the analysis on this article, I click on Analyze to determine the sentiment. It's given it a neutral rating, but I can override this rating if I decide that this is actually a positive article. I can make it 70%, or a very negative article, change it. When I click on Tag, the system will pick up the key phrases and words in this article. I can select the items that I want to retain. Once I've selected all of my tags, when I save the article, it retains the items that I've selected against this article. Now, how do we make sense of these tags? Over time, as you can imagine, we might end up with thousands of tags. And how do we filter that into something that's meaningful and understandable? So this is where the machine learning part of Simply Stakeholders kicks in. We train the machine to understand and work with the sort of topics you're tracking. So if we head over to the admin section, manage categories, here's where you can set up your own categories. So these are the issues, needs, values, things that you want to track for your organisation or project. You can set them up here using the plus icon, and then we go ahead and assign the tags. So on the left here are the categories we've set up, and on the right are the tags that are not yet assigned to any category. So here's where we can then tell the system how to treat these tags. So we can assign all of these issues to the environment, And you can see that it's assigning them down here. If I want to change any of them, I can also change them. When I save this, it's basically telling the system that anytime I have an interaction that raises deep ocean temperatures in a tag that's saved, it will automatically assign that to the category of environment. This tag won't appear in my list again, because once I've done it, in future, any interactions that raise that tag will automatically be assigned. This assigning of tags is something you'd have to do less often as the system gets to know your data more. It's quite a quick way of getting your interactions automatically categorized. And if I head back to the list of categories, I can select a category to see the sort of issues that have been flagged against that category, and I can change them here if I need to. The admin menu has an easy import function. You can control the users of your systems, modify your filters, so communication methods, contact groups, project name, your categories and tags. And that's simply Stakeholders, a simple, elegant way to manage your stakeholders and track all your interactions with them quickly and easily. A system that your team will actually want to use and keep up to date. Thanks for taking the time to have a look at this demo.